kids. I think you have, how many kids? You have two kids. Two kids, okay. So I look up to see your story, your family, what you do. Okay. You mean to tell me you agreed with all the stuff that they wanted to teach schools in California? I went to Glendale High School. Do you know what things they were teaching in Glendale with books and stuff to kids? Like, what are you doing? You think that's common sense? It's not.
Patrick Bet-David brought on this woke idiot Ro Khanna to try and defend the Democrat side of things, and PBD absolutely destroyed him on multiple different issues. I mean, this guy got absolutely cornered and humiliated by Patrick Bet-David here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel. Let's get into this clip, though, where Patrick Bet-David absolutely humiliates Ro Khanna live on the PBD podcast.
Party of innovators. And you know what the great news is? There's no Donald Trump in 2028. I mean, Donald Trump is a unique, phenomenal candidate. And on my side, people who think that he is easily beatable are delusional. He is a very charismatic candidate. And so what we should do is see, well, what about the American people? Why did they respond to him? Okay, they responded to him because of reform. They responded because they like his aspirational vision. We're going to fill in the details in a better way, and we're going to take that to be the party in 26 and 28.
Can I be direct with you?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think you sold it because I don't think you can. Because I think what you just said works against other Democratic opponents that you have. I think you beat other Democratic opponents. I don't know what your aspirations are long term, but that message will resonate with the new Democratic youth and the party. And you'll win, and you'll beat them. Like, it's kind of being Eastern Conference, Western Conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like NFC, 100%. AFC. And it's great. You may come up and be, hey, we're such and such team. We're coming out of the Western Conference. I don't care if you're Seattle Supersonics. I don't care if you're the Phoenix Suns. I don't care if you're the Houston Rockets. You're not getting past Michael, okay? You're just not. That's just kind of how it works right now. I don't care who you are. You're not getting past Mahomes.
Tell me why.
And because your argument sucked the last 4 years, and you had a chance, and you royally screwed up. The Democratic Party royally screwed up. And remember, when I say Democratic Party, and
where do you see our biggest mess up in the last 4 years? I'm not disagreeing with you. We made mistakes. I do have kids.
You have two kids. I think you have how many kids? You have two kids. Two kids. Okay. So I look up to see your story, your family, what you do. Okay. You mean to tell me you agreed with all the stuff that they wanted to teach schools in California? I went to Glendale High School. Do you know what things they were teaching in Glendale with books and stuff to kids? Like, what are you doing? You think that's common sense? It's not. So maybe in the beginning, everybody's like, oh, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. Just don't be tolerant. Just don't say anything. Hell no. My son came today and said something weird. I'm done. I'm going to the school. And I'm speaking up. Video goes viral, 50 million views, 20 million views, 8 million views. I feel the same way. Okay. That policy was a shit show. You know what? The illegal immigrants, America was built on immigrants. We should let immigrants come here. What's wrong with that? Who's going to do these works? Like, who said that on The View? The lady said it. And now there's an article right now that came out. I guess what it says. It says now that these immigrants are going to be going, who's going to do a lot of these jobs? They're no longer even embarrassed to say that, Rob. I don't know what
who's going to pick our crops and pick our nuts.
By the way,
all that
they're
stuff.
saying exactly what that lady said on The View, who got criticized. Now they're openly, and can America's economy cope with the mass deportation? You read the story, it's about who's going to...
If you enjoy content like this, to make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Do these jobs that everybody else doesn't want to do. Okay, so that policy's gone because the borders, and we saw what happened with Lake and Riley, terrible situation. Stories, rapist comes back, sanctuary cities completely got exposed, and people who voted for the left don't want sanctuary cities with these great... Okay, so that got exposed. Number 3, economy. Hey, Biden and Democrats are for, the low and middle income families. Really, go look up the gas prices, Rob, under each presidential administration. When you look up gas prices under each president, whether you go... that one right there. Look at this. So the red one is Bush, goes up to 330, started at 146, 139. Obama goes up 368. Look at Trump, stays down. Look at Biden, goes up to 406. Did you get my gas prices to go any lower? No.
Well, I mean, can somebody let me know in the comments what Democrats do better than Republicans whenever they're president? Like, genuinely, try and zoom out and look at this as unbiased as possible. And try to think of one thing that Democrats do better. Because I know what the Democrats would say. They would say, oh, they're more inclusive. They make me feel better. They don't tweet mean things. They have pride flags on the White House whenever it's 4th of July or whatever the hell the they did. It might have been on 4th of July and Memorial Day. I forgot which one it was. But like things like that is why they elect people like Joe Biden. That is insane. There's real problems in the country that need to be solved. And it's not going to be solved by putting trans generals in the military and putting pride flags on the White House and stuff like that. You know, and Trump does those things too, like, you know, changing the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. That's a similar thing where it's kind of just like, it's not going to move the needle anywhere, right? It's not. And I know a lot of you are going to get so mad at that and be like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's be real, guys. It's just a funny thing that he did. Like, it's funny. I agree. It's funny. I'm glad he did it, but it's not an actual issue that people go through and on a daily basis. Gas prices is, inflation is, grocery prices are, crime is, immigration is. What do, you know, in foreign policy and foreign aid, that is real issues. People, they're stealing tax dollars out of our pockets. I feel like I talk about it every single video because it's tax season and I'm self-employed and I'm getting absolutely screwed by taxes. And I know my money's just going to go over to the Middle East and fund bloodshed that I don't even want us to be a part of. So yeah, it pisses me off, you know? So what do the Democrats do better than the Republicans do? Because whenever Republicans get in office, not only do gas prices go down, but illegal immigration goes down and crime goes down and all these things. So what do the Democrats do better than Republicans? You know, they're bringing up the gas prices here, but I would love for Ro Khanna to answer, you know, Patrick Bet David here and just ask him, what do they do better in general? Name one thing, because I can't think of one.
No. Okay. So you definitely made oil companies a lot of money. The profits under Biden for oil companies was a lot higher than the profits under Trump for oil companies. All right. So then Obama does a clip of March 18th, 2000. I don't know what the clip is when he's talking about hey, you want to come here, immigration? You know which clip I'm talking about, and you got to come do it this way. And guess what? You got to get back in the line because the people that are in Mexico who did it the right way, they got to get ahead of you. It's not fair for those guys that waited all these years.
Yeah, I shared that clip.
I saw you share that a few days ago. That's common sense, right? But the Democratic Party today is no longer, or in my opinion, I can't see any arguments that's common sense. John F. Kennedy, what he was talking about back then, hey, we're going to lower taxes so your family can make some money and some of the money goes to you. Oh, what a nice guy. That's what lowering taxes is. Hey, we're going to go out there and, you know, get rid of some of these things that we're doing because we want it to be good for you. Hey, we don't want any war. Oh, Democratic Party's against no war. Last 4 years, Hamas, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, and I thought it was the other way around. So this isn't the old Republican war. This is, hey, man, we're going to go this way. It's going to be America first. And unfortunately, the Democratic Party has lost. And by the way, the amount of people you guys, even the Democrats, lost with TikTok, you had TikTok. So if we look at right now what the Democratic Party still owns, think about it, that you have majority control of. Military is getting rid of DEI. Pete Heck said you're seeing him going around doing all the stuff that he's doing. Okay. You guys used to have TikTok because China was using it, the left, brainwash, all that stuff, and then flipped. Charlie Kirk, 5 million followers, 40 million views, 36 million views, 28 million views, 32 million views. Why is that resonating? Because the youth is saying, listen, this makes sense. Okay, your biggest edge that you still have, that you have a monopoly on, and it's not even close, and it's going to be a problem for 80 years, unless if this gets addressed today. You know what it is?
What?
98% of English teachers in public schools, they track their money. 98% of English teachers gave their money to Democratic Party. 97% was of health and guidance and science. 87% of math gave to Democratic Party. Only 13% gave to Republican Party. So the average person sends their kids to public schools for 12 years. They're going to be persuaded, manipulated, brainwashed by the Democratic Party. You have that control. And it's so powerful that you have that. Because parents that can't afford to send their kids to private school and can't afford to do homeschooling because they both got a job, they don't know how to do that. It's tough on them. They have to send them to public school. So you have possibly the most powerful monopoly in America. Possibly the most powerful monopoly in America. And that you have long term. But even that, kids are now having access to social media, to TikTok, to Instagram. They're like, I don't know if I agree with you, teacher. I don't know if I agree with you, teacher. And now people are watching Charlie Kirks. How many other small Charlie Kirks are going to be out there going on campuses? 1, 2, or hundreds, thousands? Who right now watches that business model and saying, that's exactly what I want to do? Debate me, debate me, debate me. I think this.
Yeah, I think TikTok, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that TikTok won this last election for Donald Trump, but it definitely helped a ton. He completely conquered the young vote. I mean, obviously, there's young people who are voting for Kamala Harris as well. But in terms of how the Republicans normally do with the younger vote, Donald Trump did such a great job, you know, and it's TikTok. It's people like Charlie Kirk and those types of people, of course, did a great job. And they definitely converted a lot of people over to Donald Trump's side because they have no rebuttal to the things that Charlie Kirk was saying. And he's saying nothing different from what, you know, I say in these videos and what you guys say in the comments, but he just does it in a really great way that is really palatable for a lot of the younger audience. And then also with Donald Trump doing what he did with going on Joe Rogan and going on Aiden Ross's live stream. Dude, Kamala Harris wouldn't even go on a show that they didn't have full editorial control over. Kamala Harris wanted full editorial control over every podcast appearance that she made. Donald Trump's going on live streams with Aiden Ross. Literally anything could happen on these streams. You know, like that's insane for a presidential candidate, a former president, to be going on live streams like that with Aiden Ross. You know, it's one thing to go on a live stream and give a press conference in the White House. It's a whole other thing to go on a live stream with Aiden Ross. Okay. That stuff, that type of stuff right there is what won Donald Trump the presidential election, winning over the younger vote, winning over the undecided voters like that. So Patrick Bet-David's correct, but also the Democrats did a great job at losing it. Because whenever there's people out there like Charlie Kirk and other people on TikTok and on YouTube and all over the place saying these things that they're saying, the Democrats either don't have a rebuttal and they just say, oh, you're just racist, you're just homophobic, you're just all these istophobes, or they say something even more absurd, right? They just one up you and they're like, you know, they'll say one of their crazy things, you know, they call you a conspiracy theorist, right-wing conspiracy theorist, all that stuff that they normally say. And it's like, okay, well, you just completely lost me now because you're not even a rational thinking human being. So yes, Charlie Kirk did a great job. You know, people like Charlie Kirk did a great job. People like Patrick Bet-David did a great job. Donald Trump did a great job going on shows like Aiden Ross and all these other podcasts that he went on. But the Democrats also did a horrible job. You know, they lost a ton of voters by themselves. I think Donald Trump probably could have just sat back and, you know, not done those shows, and he still would have had a good chance to win. I don't know if he actually would have won, but he still would have had a pretty good chance to win. You know, but let me know in the comments though what you guys think about Patrick Bet-David absolutely cooking this woke idiot here, Ro Khanna, for trying to defend the Democrats. And Patrick Bet-David just put him in his place completely. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Patrick Bet-David versus Ro Khanna here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.